I know that as the year comes to a close, you're looking for something spicy and fun to play in the Pokemon TCG. Enough with the Charizards, enough with the Dragos, enough with the Lugias and all that meta. You're looking for something real fun, real spicy, but that can actually compete. Today, I'm bringing my United Wings list to the table. This list is really cool, really fast, and it can keep up with all the meta decks, has all the tools it needs to succeed. The Brilliant Blender from Surging Sparks really brings this deck into a league of its own, and with the Explorer's Guidance supporter card, you now have additional ways to discard cards other than Professor's Research. You have all the tools you need to be able to do big damage really quickly, and I'm really excited to show you all my United Wings list. We're just gonna hop right into the video, get into some gameplay, get some dubs with United Wings.
Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchanting channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code Hitmon to get a free month of pro membership. Hitmonchanting playmats are finally here. Head on over to hitmonchanting.com to pick yours up today. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, let's get right back into the video. Do we want to go first? No, we do not. We're going to choose to go second here. And we just want to get a very explosive, aggressive turn one. If everything lines up, we can do a lot of damage. And this is a fine hand. I like... let's start the Manaphy. And we're choosing to go second. We'll also put Squawk down. Just in case this is Cloth. Okay, it's Drago. Mistake against Drago, but like starting the Manaphy. But if it's Manaphy or Squawk, Manaphy's definitely better, but they can just clone Kyurem our board now. So we need to retreat this Manaphy ASAP. Make sure the rescue board's not prized. If this is just a Temple of Sinnoh pass, that would be great. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, they're getting the Squawk. Literally, I think just burning cards. There's another Drago. No attachment, I'm hoping. There's a full-on Squawk. Okay, got rid of a lot of good resources. Got rid of the Prime Catcher, which isn't necessarily great. Getting rid of a Rod and an E-Switch is really good. I say now, not getting rid of the Prime Catcher isn't great, because the Prime Catcher, and if the Prime Catcher and Clone are just in the discard, that means Drago can just fetch them whenever, so without needing to find them. But no energy on board turn one's really huge for us. We get the Fez. Let's Heavy Ball and search Flamigo in the Heavy Ball. Double Dartrix is a little rough. In this matchup, doesn't matter too much. Counter Catcher we're going to need at some point. But for now, let's drop our Amigo Flamigo. Get these two. Means we have everything else we need. We can Ultra Ball. Now, I don't want Iono. I really just want to go all in. I think... yeah, let's get Murkrow. And we'll throw Murkrow on the bench just so we have flexibility. And what we can do is I can bench both of these, but no. I'll still throw the Collapse down just to stop them from getting an additional Pokemon. And let's Squawk this hand away. Get the Research, which is also great. I'll attach to the Murkrow. I don't really know how their next turn's gonna go. Just research this as well. Got Ditto, which is very nice. We'll throw Ditto on the bench. Pass. Yeah, now this is scary. It's really scary because they can just come out of nowhere and get a Drago, right? It's really possible for them to do that, and they don't need Gust. They just need Cologne. So we'll see. They top decked the energy, because if they didn't top deck it, they would have used Teal Dance last turn. Ultra Ball can get them the Drago. They also need Kyurem in the discard, which they don't have. But they did have a Research, which I'm suspecting means they're going to have another cheeky Research as well in their hand. The Ultra Ball, they're debating, I know, getting an Ogerpon or getting a V-Star. So they're getting the Ogerpon. I think they're taking this turn off. There's a Vessel getting rid of the Cologne. That's terrible for us. Them getting rid of it means, again, Drago's going to do it whenever they want. And that makes me sad. So we really need to come out aggressive and deal with this Drago ASAP. There's the Fire Energy. And where's the Research? There's the Research. And they didn't get any Pokemon in the discard, thankfully. Nothing that can attack, but Prime Catcher Cologne's already here, and that's not good for us at all. Now, this Collapsed Stadium is coming to bite us in the butt because they can use Manaphy, get rid of our entire board of attackers, and then we're screwed with a capital S. So, if they don't evolve Drago this turn, which is possible they don't, because I don't see them hitting the attack, unless they just get the busted draws, which is possible. Drago can just be busted whenever it wants. But if they don't hit the attack here, we need to knock out this Regidrago. Celestial Roar, that's fantastic. That is really, really good for us. We need to hit this Drago hard and where it hurts. Now, let's start with... Do I want to play the Ultra Ball? No, let's start with Explorer. And now we get the Blender, which is great. We get the Energy. That's perfect. That is perfect. Okay. We get these two. Now, right now, we're doing a grand total of 6. We're doing 120. We can Blender for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's one Pokemon left in the deck we can get. Let's treat the Manaphy just to keep our pal safe. We're doing the 220. We're in the clear for that. I want to save these other cards. Let's just swing for 220 right here. The Blender was a really good hit off the Explorers. Now we take the first 2. They can take 3. And then if they take the 3, then we need to make sure we're not using Murkrow anymore. This is a great hand for us to have. The counter catch is really good. I'm expecting a Kyurem play. And the thing is we're going to have Ditto. We have the counter catcher to bring up the Squawk, or if they're able to get the Kyurem play going, which they should be able to this turn, I'm guessing this is going to get rid of... Getting rid of Ultra Ball is crazy work. They have a busted hand then. Because right now we're doing 220. When these two hit the discard, that's going to be 260. Then we just need to Heavy Ball for another... Or we need to Ultra Ball for the last Winger. And then we can hit 280, and then we can just knock out Drago with the Ditto, which is the plan, this game plan. But that requires us needing to find... What's its name? We need to find the Rescue Board in order to use Manaphy effectively here. So we'll see what happens. Here's the Ultra Ball. Getting rid of the goo, getting rid of that Drago. There's the Drago V-Star. I have not seen a Kyurem, have not seen a Dragapult yet. So we have a shot, because if they want to pull off the Kyurem play, they either need to have Boss in hand, or they Legacy Star for Prime Catcher Cologne. Okay, that's a huge Legacy Star for us. All 4 E-Switch in the discard, so that means they need to get an E-Switch off of this Legacy Star, which means it needs to be E-Switch Cologne, but they don't have the necessary attacker in the discard pile. So we will hopefully be okay, because they probably could have afforded to get, like... I actually don't know what the other combination of cards could have been for them here. Because it needed to just be Prime Catcher Cologne. There's no way around it. Zero way around that. Now what they can do... Okay, it is Prime Catcher Cologne that they got, right? Oh, they have... No, they got E-Switch Cologne. E-Switch Catcher. E-Switch Catcher. Okay. So they're probably just going to target down the Squawk with Goodra. Manaphy. But do they play 2 Cologne? Oh, they're just ditching... Okay, they're just getting rid of the Manaphy. And they're hitting with Goodra, I'm guessing. Which is, like, not bad. Yeah, they're hitting with Goodra. That's not bad. We can't hit those numbers, but if we're able to find Boss, we might be fine. So we'll lead the Crow here. We can get Fez. Let's see. We don't have any Boss in the discard pile. So this is what I want to do. Let's Heavy Ball. Yeah, the double Dartrix is really going to be a pain for us. We'll Stretcher. Get Fez, and we just got to push. We got to hit the Fez. Of course. All right. That's great. That's wonderful. Let's Explorers here. Definitely Boss and definitely Rescue Board. Then the Pal Pad. We'll just put double Research into the deck. That was an interesting way to go about it. Let's just wings here. For 140, that's also good because if they just goo again, then we should be able to, we have another dark in the deck, we should be able to find it. Or when the Murkrow goes down, we just use DTE Flamigo and we're good to go. So yeah, or we just DTE Ditto if they can only find Dragapult. But they're down 3 research, 2 boss. I would not be surprised if we saw an Iono here. And the reason I didn't want to use the rescue board is because this Squawkabilly can be very easily targeted down. But now we put them in an interesting position, right? We need, or they need rather, to set up a second Drago. How are you doing that with 4 E-Switch down? The answer is you're not doing it. So here's a Super Rod, definitely going to get back a Drago, a V-Star, and or maybe a Fez. They could just be, they go for a Kyurem play now, which is 3, and then they go for a Boss Radzard play, but... Okay, is it just Drago and V-Star? No way. And Fez, okay. Dropping the Fez. Yeah, I don't see the angle here. Unless it's an angle to Boss KO Teal Mask. Like KO with Teal Mask on the bench. Which, again, we know they have the Prime Catcher in their hand. But you need to take multi-prizes here. I don't know how they're taking multi-prizes with such little resources and such little discard. Okay, attach to the Fez. Prime Catcher. What's getting primed up? Because you can get Squawkabilly is the only thing you can KO with the Goodra. You can't KO anything else with the Goodra. And yeah, so it's going to be bring up Teal Mask. I'm very confused by their play here. Myriad Leaf Shower. Okay, I don't know why they did that. Now we just boss Drago and I think we should win. Right? Like we can retreat Squawk, no problem. Even, how many Pokemon do we have in the discard? We have 4, 7, 10, 11. We're doing 220. We do 200. I'd rather just swing with Flamigo, right? Bring up the Drago. I'm struggling, unless it's 2. No, they can only get 4 prizes with Kyurem if they were even to use it. They can't use Kyurem here. Now we just go thin all the way. Which is, there's only the one Pokemon, the one Dartrix here, and then we'll just Ultra Ball just to thin in case they Iono us, so they play something funny. But we want to maximize our chances of hitting that boss for the game. We have all the Pokemon we need in play. We just United Wings, and now we're very likely to hit double Dartrix, or at least Dartrix Vessel or something like that, off of these prizes. And yeah, I'm not sure how they win now. They, I think they really should have taken that KO on the Squawkabilly. Because now I don't see it. Like, if they Goodra the Squawk and then we KO the Drago, I guess their hope was that we would whiff the boss. I think that was their hope there. But I'm not sure why that was what they wanted to do. We get Iono. Like, Iono here is fine, because if they swing with Teal Mask, we've already won. So that doesn't matter too much. And we just get research off the rip, so we should be able to just win the game. Yeah. GG's, cook that Drago. I was really scared about that match. I was really scared, but we were fine. So what was I scared about? The world may never know. Coin flip. Gotta love them. We're calling tails. We'll see what happens. And it's tails because the game loves me today. The game is in love with me. I'm gonna choose to go second, and we're gonna get the worst hand possible. I already know. So let's see. Let's see what happens. We're gonna go second. This hand would have been good if we had a basic. This hand would have been great because we could just explorers, but that's not too bad, not too shabby at all. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. This is a fine hand. I want to lead the Rowlet just because I want to get access to Flamigo. And it might just be a research angle. Or we Flamigo and Explorers. Might be better. Just so we don't have to ditch so many supporters. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what we're up against. Because it could be really bad. Okay, it's an Ogre Pawn. If it's Bolt, we're cooking. If it's Drago, we're cooked. But we cooked the Drago anyway today. Vessel. Alright, it's Bolt. Okay, Bolt's really, really manageable. If they're playing the Charms, which usually Bolts are playing 2 nowadays, if they hit us with the Charm, that could be really, really bad. But other than that, we're mostly fine up against Bolt. We can just be boss game, or we just overwhelm them by getting an early 2-shot, is usually how it goes. They're not taking multi-prizers, so we're usually fine in that regard. Fighting energy on the Bolt. And if they bench Squawk, we just use Wattrel early on, and we're kind of chilling. All right, they didn't do much. They did not do much. We got another Flamigo off the top, which is not really what I wanted, so we'll insta-flock. There's probably one prized. Oh, there's not. Okay, that's good. We prized a Ditto. We prized ourselves a Dartrix. Prized ourselves no other United Wings, which is good. Prized a Research. And also prized an Ultra Ball. Prized the one Collapsed. And I think that's about it. Well, there's some more cards, but other than that, I can get DTE here. And what else should we get? Honestly, Ultra Ball. Just keep chucking Pokemon is really solid. Well, Ultra Ball. Get rid of Flamigo. We could get the Squawk, but I don't think it's worth it. Just because our hand is really so good already. Off the Ultra Ball, I'll grab Ditto, and we'll just play him on the bench. How much are we doing with the United Wingers right now? We'd be doing 80. So this is fine. I don't want to use a double turbo yet. I just want to pass. I'm hoping they go and get the Flamigo knocked out. I mean, I'm really hoping that they just go and knock out our attacker. But I can see this Flamigo's probably going to just stay on the bench. But regardless, I'm expecting them to get a KO this turn. Whether it's with the Teal Mask, which it's looking like it might be with the Double Grass, or if it's with a Raging Bull. It isn't really relevant to us. It's like literally the difference is 1 Pokemon in the discard pile. The 240 versus the 210, because we're in increments of 20. So better to just get set up this way. And I can just see them attaching and swinging. Then we go in with Flamigo. It's going to be a bit of a slower start to the game, but it's not that bad. Not at all. Yeah, okay, I figured that was exactly what was going to happen. I figured this is what was going to go down. We also had, I thought I saw the Blender. I hope we did, because if we find Blender, we can potentially get the KO on the Ogerpon here. They do have the Sada, which means they can get the Bolt ready to rock and roll. Not sure if they'll push it up, but I'm hoping they play a Pokestop for us. That would be really, really nice for us here. They're playing the Shoes. Now, they kept it. It's probably Charm. I'm hoping it's not, but it probably is. And they're just going to swing. Okay. That's fine. I'm definitely leading with my Flamingo friend. We could get the Rowlet back, but there's no point in swinging with Dartrix here. It's just not efficient. Another double turbo, which of course I'm punished for not attaching last turn. But that's fine. Let's just go right for the Research. Now we're doing 80 right now. We can Great Ball, which can find us another winged friend. Get Wattrel. But honestly, I should have got Murkrow. That's a huge misplay by me. That's a monstrous misplay. Should I get Fez here, actually? No. Get this Murkrow and put him on the bench. That was a huge misplay just because I can't swing with Ditto now and I have to bench the Murkrow. But we're doing a 2-shot play anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just slightly more annoying. And this is a good spot for us because they're going to load their hand up again with another Sada, most likely. We can attach to the Murkrow. We'll throw the Rescue Board on Ditto. Iono them down low. Hopefully we find the Blender, and then we can get the KO, because the Blender is basically plus 100 damage whenever you play it, because you get 5 United Wings in the discard pile. So if we can find the Blender, we should be fine. They're playing Lumineon, so I'm hoping, or it might just be a Sada play, but maybe it's something different. Maybe it's like a boss or a judge or something ridiculous. Okay, it's boss here, but I'm not sure why we're going for a boss play in this scenario. And I'm not sure why we're putting Lumineon. Okay, they're going to retreat, go into Bolt. That's fine. Putting Lumineon on the bench here is really, really risky because we have only 2 Wattrels in the bin. So we can use Wattrel still. Okay, just a Bellowing Thunder. I'm not sure how I feel about that play. I would have just swung with, like, just retreat and swing. I don't know why we had to do all that. We'll lead with the Murkrow just so we get the, like, maximum amount of damage. Get another Wattrel. Attach to Murkrow. We can Rescue Board Flamigo, and I do think it's worth putting a Wattrel down now. But honestly, we're so close to KOing this. No, we'll just Iono it away. We're so close to getting that fish anyway. Now, we might need to put Fez in play here, just to get the rest of the cards moving. If we put Fez in play, there's not the largest chance we find the blender. But I think it needs to be done because our hand is bad. Okay, we can Poffin and at least get Rowlet. And we can thin Manaphy down and then Collapsed. No, we need to put Squawk in play to get the Collapsed going. This is rough. This is a rough hand here. Okay, let's Wings. This is tough because if they KO the Fez, we're in a really bad spot. I'm hoping they just don't have a natural boss in their hand. That'd be really bad for us. But the fact they fished makes me think they don't. So they could always Prime Catcher. If they Prime Catcher retreat, they're fine. This is a really bad spot for us. I thought we were going to be in a really good area. But their deck is still pretty, like, it's not super thin. They haven't played Greninja. They can just Teal Dance one more time for draw. We know that two of these are energy. One of those cards was an energy retrieval. They have one boss left, most likely, if they're playing two boss. They might not even be playing two boss. And to Sada, they're only going to Sada one energy if they need to find the Prime Catcher. They're playing less Pokemon Catchers, most likely, because of the Trekking Shoes. So there's a lot of room for us to be okay here. Because if they just take the single prizer, the hope is... No, they have another boss in hand! Oh, this is so bad! No shot! They just have the other boss. I'm gonna crash out. That's crazy. That's crazy off of their 4-card hand. They have the other boss in 30 cards. 30 cards in their deck. No Fez. Nothing like that. 2 Teal Dances and a draw for turn. They have the other boss. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Okay, let's Dusk Ball and get a Wattrel. I actually cannot believe that. That's insane. Put these dudes down. United Wings will take the KO, but we'll just prep. Could prep the Wattrel, doesn't really matter. We'll just prep the Dartrix. Could throw Collapsed in there, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just hit the Wings. Because the Dartrix is going to need to do maximum damage for that other bolt. I'm so mad at that. You have no idea how mad I am at that. They literally, I fished for that boss. Which tells me they didn't have it, because why would you put fish in play if you don't need to? And then they just had the other boss in hand. We're being for real. How are we being for real right now? I don't know how we're being for real. I don't get it. Because now all they need to do is prep an Ogre Pawn and knock it with a Bolt. And then we're cooked. We need to find a Stretcher, and both our Ionos are in the discard pile, so we can't Iono them, which is great. That's actually really wonderful for us. And we need to take a KO here, because there's a chance we don't if we don't find Blender or something else. This is crazy. I'm so mad. I'm so mad they found that boss right there. And they got the Prime and they got the Forest Seal Stone. There's no shot. There is no shot. They have the Forest Seal Stone in hand. They have the Prime Catcher in hand. Oh, man. This is the worst thing in the world. This is the worst thing on the planet. And they have an Iono. The Iono's actually fine. I'm actually really happy with that Iono. But they just have Forest Seal Stone, so I'm really sad about that. Okay, they're retreating. Going into Bolt. Bellowing Thunder. What are they ditching here? It's one card. Where are they getting rid of it from? That Teal Mask. There's like the slimmest of chances that we're able to win this game. It's so slim. So slim that it's barely possible. Night Stretcher, get Fez. We don't want to shuffle the deck. We want to hit like Blender or something here This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, now we hit the good cards when all of our United Wings Pokemon are not needed anymore. That's great. Okay, what else are we going to get rid of here? The Heavy Ball and the Nest Ball are like the least needed cards. Doing 160 now. We research. That's actually unbelievable. You have no idea how pissed off I am at that. No idea. Like, you have literally, you have zero idea how pissed I am at that play. We could just get the boss back, but it literally does not matter here. I'm so mad at that. Genuinely so mad. Because now literally they just need to find their an energy retrieval with the Forest Seal Stone that they just had in their hand magically, and then we're cooked. So, oh, I'm so mad at that. That was terrible. And they just have Fez now. They don't even need to use the Forest Seal Stone that they just magically had in their hand, because they magically have Fez in their hand too. What are we doing? What are we doing here? I hope that they forgot to add them to their deck. I really did. I really hope that's the case here. Tell me you only played 2 in the last one's prize. Tell me right now. Tell me right now. Damn. Oh, that was frustrating. Bad draws. A sliver of hope. They get the one. They haven't even played a Pokegear. They haven't played a Pokegear. How are we supposed to compete with that? They have not played a Pokegear. We get to call the coin flip here. Tails never fails is what I always say. We flip that coin and it's tails, and we're gonna choose to go second here. We want to be swinging with the United Wings. We want to be hitting them hard, hitting them fast, and getting that first KO is really crucial to this deck's success. Now we got a pretty solid hand here. I'd say we start with the Crow. Higher chance to swing with that guy right off the rip, out the gate. Now, Explorer's Guidance could be an okay card, this hand. This is very interesting to sequence this properly. We got a Fuecoco and a Pidgey. Just a heads up, we're in a Master League with Arceus with the new Elo, so I don't know what we're up against, what this chef with this cook has prepared for us today, but we're gonna go crazy with United Wings with the shiny Murkrow, the shiny Flamigo. We already know. I didn't update Explorer's Guidance though. I didn't make those full arts. That's sad. Okay, so we're playing a real wacky deck today. We got Charmander, Duskull, Fuecoco, and Pidgey. We got 4 stage 2s in a single deck here. This is bound to be interesting. So let's see what happens. Let's just see. Now, I think I want to start this turn off, depending on what we top deck. I might want to start it with a Flamigo Instaflock. Double Turbo. See, as soon as I promote the Murkrow, we get a double turbo, of course. I'm going to start with the Instaflock because I want to thin all these Flamigos out and search the deck. We have Squawk, which is really what we need right here. We really want to find ourselves a Squawkabilly. The rest of these cards are looking pretty fine, pretty swell, and pretty dandy in here. So I want to start with Great Ball, the Squawk. That's exactly what I wanted here. Now we'll hit the Dusk Ball, get ourselves the Ditto just so we can bench that guy. Put down Ditto. Let's Explorer here, see what we find. None of these are really helpful here. We probably could have afforded to Squawk first, but nothing super crazy. Like, all of this is going to get dumped anyway. We'll grab these 2. Bench the Squawk. Saving a Collapsed for later would have been good, but for now it's okay. I'm just going to Squawk and Seize. Hopefully we hit the Dark. We have a lot of outs to the Dark Energy, which we found, which is very nice. We're going to be doing 100 off the rip here, which is awesome. We're going to want to put this Rowlet down to deal with that Charizard at some point. And we could also throw down this Ditto, just so if we get our other Collapsed, and boom, let's United Wings for the first KO of the game, dealing a clean and easy 100 damage, and that's pretty easy. That is how we roll. So we're gonna grab that first prize, which is a Dark Energy, which is really good, because we can use Dartrix if we need to take out a Charizard potentially, depending on what we top deck here. Like, the deck's pretty thin already. We've already burned through half the deck, and a lot of it's still supporters. So the chance we find a supporter off the top, or a way to get a supporter or something, is pretty solid. I'm not playing the Tatsugiri in my list. I personally don't really think you need it with the Explorers. But, you know, it could still be a good option. It's just something to keep in mind. But I find that your bench is really crowded, which is why I don't play the Tatsu, just because I feel like you never really are going to use it. Now, my opponent's got the Rare Candy. They got a Defiance Band, which they don't really need. And I'm low-key hoping they go for the Squawk here, because we can then punch them with the Murkrow. The only danger... Okay, they might be going for a Cleffa play here. That's interesting. That is interesting. It's just going to be a pass. Okay. So they're in a little bit of a brick city here. I'm going to put Dartrix into the active. I want to keep that Dark Energy, and I just want to United Wings. Get rid of that Pidgey. Getting rid of Pidgey here is really, really clutch. I think they probably should have promoted Duskull, though. I think Pidgeot's pretty solid to have in this matchup. And Boss is also really good to keep on deck as well. They might honestly go for a Cleffa play here, and I don't blame them. However, letting us get this many punches in is a double-edged sword, because it's good, but at the same time, I'd say we can very easily keep this momentum going, though they can swing it back on us with Dusknoir or something like that. They had the stretcher for the Pidgey. That makes a lot of sense as to see why they would do that. Now I get it. Why they just sack the Pidgey like that. There's a Fire Energy going on the Charmander. Super Rod gonna get back just the way Coco, and then there's a Grasping Draw angle. So they're going all in on this Charmander. Lucky for us, we got the secret tech. The secret tech. We're gonna cook them. We'll see what they do. They could play the Stamp. We haven't seen an A-Spec. Counter Catcher on the Squawk. Okay. Literally just gearing up for this Grasping Draw. We know they have a Candy in hand. And yeah, this hand is fine. Like, we have nothing to fear here. There's a Grasping Draw. We're literally just going to boss this Charmander, and it might just be GG's from there. From the pure amount of pressure we're putting on them. Yeah, we'll just attach the Squawk. Retreat the Squawk. And we're doing 100, so we'll boss up the Mander. And just get rid of that. It's easy. It's easy peasy. And... like, we don't have a lot going on, but they don't have a lot going on. So as long as we have attackers, Pal Pad's good because we can throw back some Explorers and the Research. But they might have another Cleffa angle coming for us. And don't forget, if they use Dusknoir, then we can probably win fairly easily because we just farm the one Charizard with our Dartrix. So they can use a Dusknoir right now, and then if they do, I'm just going to throw down a Buddy-Buddy Poffin and put another Rowlet on the bench. I think I should have one in the deck still. Yeah, I should. There's Radzard coming through. Can't really do too much against us right now. I'm expecting an Iono or something, just so they can thin things down a little bit. Power up the Radzard. They still need another energy on it, so they can't swing this turn, which is really, really good. If it's just another Grasping Draw here, it might as well be GG's, but we'll have to see what they do. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, because an Iono with like a Dusknoir play could be very devious, could be very dastardly for us. But for now, things are fine. We got a Research off the rip. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful news. Let's Ultra Ball. We're going to tossing a Murkrow. A Wattrel's good to keep to target Pidgeot if we need to, but now we can Pal Pad and put back Research Boss is good. Just want to leave room for more researches if we need to. And then we'll do this. We have another Wattrel we can pull out of here. Now we're doing 180 with the wings, which means that Dartrix will KO a Zard. And the thing is what they'll have to do to really pose a threat to us is they'll have to... Let's see what we get here. We get Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball's fine. What they'll have to do is they'll have to Dusknoir swings up, or Dusknoir Iono us to 0 and then KO with Zard, which is really not great for us. especially considering Fez is in the hand. However, we haven't used a Nest Ball yet. So, and we still have double Ultra Ball remaining, so we should be able to realistically find Fez if we need to. But yeah, as of right now, there's a rare candy. I'm guessing the Pidgeot's coming through. And we have Wattrel. We do have the Rescue Board. I didn't see it prized. Maybe I was wrong. But we can check with this Heavy Ball. And I'm really expecting just an Iono off the rip here, and then they're going to try and set up the Zard. But, okay, yeah, so they probably just have the Charizard now anyway. The thing is are they going to be able to knock out the Dartrix and the Murkrow this turn while doing some hand disruption? That's the really key thing here. If they're able to do that, move the mouse out of the way. If they're able to do that, we could be in some trouble. However, we might be fine if, considering they've been struggling for a couple turns to actually just establish a Pidgeot, this is a fine place for us to be in. I can definitely see the counter catcher come through, though, and pull up this Dartrix, because that Dartrix is a massive, massive threat. There's a Dusclops, which isn't knocking anything out, thankfully. There's a Prime Catcher onto the Squawk. Okay, are we going to get hit with the Iono here? That's my question. That is my question. If we just get KO'd, then we just research and hope we find... There's Briar. Okay, so they're going to take the 3 prizes on the Squawk. Okay, we should be fine as long as we find an energy card. We need to find a Stretcher or a Vessel, or we have like an insane amount of options. I'll leave the Murkrow. The Fez will come down as well. Double Turbo, I don't know if it gets us there because we're doing 180. It does not. So let's Heavy Ball. Grab this Murkrow. Just to get another Pokemon in the discard. Does that find it for us? Because we're doing what? We're doing 180, be 160, ditching these two. Yeah, we should just have it with the Dartrix. I think we just got it now after this research here. Yeah, that's 320, and then we research and we're chilling. Yeah, okay, cool. Very easy peasy lemon squeezy. We can even just Ultra Ball, get more of these guys gone. It don't matter. Don't matter. Let's just United Wings for 480 damage. And cook this Charizard EX. Cook it into oblivion. They really could have came back from that. But they were just too slow. You're too slow. So what did you think of my United Wings deck? This deck is a ton of fun to play, and I do think that once rotation happens, it's going to be really good, just because the ability to ramp your damage so high, and so on and so forth. I'm really looking forward to playing this deck more. I think that it's you know, with Drago running around, it can be pretty tough to make it work, but once Drago's gone and once Lugia's gone, this deck is going to be a menace. I'm telling you right now, it has all the tools it needs to succeed. Would I change anything about the list right now? Not really. I really am liking the Explorer's Guidance in this deck. I think it's really, really good to, like, because you're just using research all the time with the occasional Iono, it's really good sometimes to just advance your hand size and discard cards rather than, like, play the 2 Carmine or something instead of the Explorer so that you Carmine away your hand and just draw 5 or something like that. I can see potentially a couple Pokegears being good in this deck, though. That is something I missed. I found that I sort of missed the Tatsugiri, but not really. So playing some Pokegears could help mitigate that. I think the deck's bench space is way too tight to be playing the Tatsugiri, especially with Fez and with Squawk in the list. So that's just my opinion. A really cool thing as well, when this deck, like when rotation eventually happens, and like this is further in the future when we get trainers Pokemon, you can play Wattrel as a draw engine. You can attach like a lightning energy to the Wattrel, get rid of it, and then you're thinking, how do I attack? Well, you can use counter gain on Dartrix to use United Wings for free. So there's a lot of cool things you'll be able to do with this deck coming in the near future. I'm thinking of playing it, like trying out like an Arven counter gain based build when that happens, which I'm gonna start working on because I think that'll be really good. Wink, wink, wink. Other than that, though, thank you all so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below what do you think of my United Wings deck. Would you like, dislike, would you keep, what would you change about the list? Subscribe to the Hitmonchanting channel. I'm posting multiple Pokemon trading card games videos every day, every week. Buy the Hitmonchanting mat. And until next time, I'll see you in the new year. Hitmonchanting out.